Hello, everybody. Today we are going to. Okay, it is recording. Today we are going to review the movie. Still doesn't seem right, does it? Review the movie Scoob. This was, I think, from last year, I do believe. Let me just double check on that. Why is my phone brightness so bright? I don't need it that bright. Let me search here, please. Okay, just bear with me for a second here. Yeah, it is from last year. Okay, so this was, I actually did enjoy this movie. I wasn't sure I was going to. The only thing I will say about this is that Shaggy's voice was way off, but they did for Scooby-Doo, I do believe it was actually the original guy, who, played, who was voicing Scooby. Let me just double check that. But I do actually believe that it was him. I could be wrong, but we're just going to go back here and see. He's voiced so much stuff. Holy man. We're only into his 2011. So we'd have to go back quite a ways, I guess, in order to find out whether he was the original voice. Oh, well, we're in the 90s now. Because when was the original Scooby-Doo show? It was way back in like the 70s. So we're into the 80s now. Wow, this is crazy. He's voiced so much stuff that it's. But I believe he was the original voice of Scooby-Doo. Okay, we're getting closer to where we need to be, because I think it was the very early 70s was the original Scooby-Doo show. 1969 to 71, I do believe. So we're in 1975 now. So we got to be getting close. 1972. Oh, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You series. Oh wow, he actually voiced a lot of people. Fred Jones, I guess, the werewolf. Hermit, wow. Let's just see if he was actually the voice of Scooby-Doo, though. Oh no, I guess not. Don Messick was the original voice of Scooby-Doo. Interesting. But this guy did have at least played a part in the original Scooby-Doo series, so it does kind of make sense that he voiced Scooby-Doo. Another thing I find, I would say that they changed a little bit about Scooby-Doo for sure, and I guess it kind of shows, it is an animated movie, so I mean, I'm not really expecting it to be, it's kind of like a modern day twist on a classic, which is okay to do in certain situations, and I know it got a lot of backlash because of Scooby-Doo being able to talk through the whole movie, right? And he was easy to understand. But they did kind of keep the, whoops, I hit the wrong button. They did kind of keep the classic feel to him with certain things, I would say, like his demeanor and sort of that kind of thing. But, I mean, obviously, they're going to change a little bit over time, right? Because I guess they're trying to bring an old character to a new generation to make it more relatable for them, so I can kind of see why they did what they did. And I know I'm not paying attention to the actual screen here, but sorry. I'm just trying to pick what I want to watch next, I guess. So, yeah, I would just say that is that's why they changed it up a little bit. But anyhow, so Scooby and Shaggy meet due to the fact that they both feel kind of alone, I guess, in the world, which is actually kind of similar to Funny I say that. Actually, kind of similar to my Call of the Wild review. I'm not sure which one of these will actually come first, but they're both kind of similar in that storyline, I guess, where the boy meets a dog and then they kind of just grow up together. But I suppose in this, they are always going to be best friends, regardless of how long. Like, yeah, because I guess Scooby and Shaggy don't put themselves in nearly as much danger. The voices of Fred, Daphne, and Velma were really good. I'm actually surprised that Zac Efron I didn't was voicing Fred, and Amanda Seyfried was voicing Daphne, and Gina Rodriguez. That name sounds so familiar, but I don't know what else she's been in that I've seen her in, because she looks familiar too. Played Velma, or voiced Velma, I guess. And Jason Isaacs was the voice of Dick Dastardly, which was a kind of a funny character for sure. So he was trying to unlock this underworld to unleash Cerberus, this three-headed dog, on everybody. And obviously he wanted to get his own dog back as well. Now I can't remember the name of his dog. But anyhow, so in the beginning, I guess it's kind of like a unlikely meetup, or unlikely meetup for all of them to be living in the same town, but they don't really know each other, and then they just kind of meet and go into this house to get Shaggy's candy back, and that's their first crime that they ever solved, I guess, was the, yeah, that was the first crime that they ever solved together. So then after that, they say, wow, that was pretty good for us just being kids, we should keep doing this together. And then as they grow up, they just all stick together and become a team, and then that's how they end up getting the mystery machine, and yeah, basically solving crimes throughout their child and adult lives, obviously. So I'm not really sure what age they were supposed to be when they were kids, but it's been 10 years since Shaggy made the promise to Scooby that he would never leave his side. So then they run into this hero named the Blue Falcon. Now, I guess the Blue Falcon is actually the Blue Falcon's son, because the original Blue Falcon has gone on to retire. And I believe his name was Brian, was the son's name. And he also had a robotic dog. I think it must have been Dynomutt. Was a robotic dog, yeah, played by Ken Jeong. And he had, I don't really want to say like a sidekick, but like a partner. I believe it was Dee Dee Skies was the one that was his partner on the ship. And yeah, so Simon Cowell is actually in this movie too, and he literally voices himself, which is kind of funny. So he comes to them with this mission, I guess, and then that's why they are after oh no, he's trying to hire them on for the mission, I suppose, but he says that he can't do it. He won't do it with Scooby and Shaggy there because they're too immature or something for the job. So they kind of part ways with Fred, Velma, and Daphne, right? And then they end up getting captured by Dick Dastardly. And that's when Velma, Fred, and Daphne decide to go and save Scooby and Shaggy instead of, I guess, I can't even remember whether it was the mission that was the mission that they had originally from Simon Cowell, or whether they just kind of went off course from their mission. I can't remember why can't I remember that part of it, but anyhow. So, yeah, they do end up going to save Scooby and Shaggy, although by the time they get there, Scooby and Shaggy have had their, normal kind of, I guess, fight That seems to be one of the themes in these newer movies, I guess, is that they kind of put a rift between themselves because Scooby decides to team up with the Blue Falcon and get his new suit, and he takes off his old collar. Obviously, Shaggy's a little salty about that, so he gets upset with Scooby and tells him that he has to choose a side, and Scooby says that's not fair. And then he decides to go off with the Blue Falcon and the other two heroes that are with him. But then Scooby gets taken again by Dick Dastardly, and Dick Dastardly forces him to open the gate to the underworld. And they think they've gotten away with the treasure, but they haven't. Scooby and Shaggy are able to get Cerberus back and through the gate, and then it looks like Alexander the Great was actually the one who created the gate in the beginning, I guess. So I guess in order to close the gate, one of you has to go into the underworld, and the other one has to stay on the Earth side of the underworld, I suppose. But then there is a way to actually get your friend back, so Scooby's able to do that with Shaggy, and then they are reunited, so I guess everybody lives happily ever after. The Mystery Machine does blow up, but the Blue Falcon is able to make them a new one, like an upgraded one at the very end of the movie, so that was kind of cool to see. So maybe there'll be a sequel to this. It would be kind of interesting to see a sequel to this, just to see where they will go, and if they ever teamed up with the Blue Falcon. That would be kind of an interesting storyline, I think, to keep continuing on for a few movies. But yeah, I have to give this movie a I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. Just because, yeah, Scooby, not Scooby's voice, but Shaggy's voice really threw me off. Because it almost seemed like, I don't know, Shaggy's voice was never really wimpy before, and it kind of seemed a little wimpy in this movie. And he was voiced by Will Forte, and I don't really know the direction they were trying to go with that voice. It seemed kind of different from the old Shaggy. But other than that, all the voices I think were kind of very spot on for the most part. And Tracy Morgan had his little own part in this movie where he's won't let the final skull go, I guess. But then Dick Dastardly comes in and takes it anyway. So he played Captain Caveman, and it was really obvious when they find him that it was Tracy Morgan voicing the caveman, so that was kind of cool. So there were a lot of people, a lot of voices in this movie that I wasn't really expecting, but yeah, I'm happy I stumbled upon this film and was able to actually watch it. So yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10 just because of that. The animation was actually really good too, but just Shaggy's voice really threw me off. I think that was the only thing that I have to bad to say about it. I'm kind of looking forward to a sequel to this one. I actually would like to see another live-action Scooby-Doo movie too, just to see what they could do with that in the future. But yeah, I think they should continue this series first before they do anything else with Scooby-Doo again. I would like to see a sequel to this one. So anyhow, I think that about covers it for this film. So as always, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If not, go watch it for yourself, because your opinion could be totally different, and who knows, I might have missed some stuff, because I did kind of watch this split between yesterday and this morning, so yeah, sometimes I do miss some things when I have to do it that way, but I gotta do what I gotta do for certain movies, and unfortunately, how I work too, right? Working nights isn't the easiest through the week to do movies sometimes, but I was able to get this one done within a reasonable amount of time. I probably should have just finished it yesterday, because maybe I could have talked a little bit more about it, but hey, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.